In the course of doing this work for you and for the Alliance, I get hit really, really hard. We have one guy who is basically attacking me full time. We have a team of 8 people now that we pay almost $2,000 a month, and I'm happy to do it. But if it wasn't for this one guy, we probably wouldn't even need them. But we will keep them in place afterwards. But I think there's going to be a lot less to do once we bring him to justice. We are going to be suing this guy. His name is Stephen. It's not Stephen Greer. It's not Stephen Tyler. Unfortunately, the name Stephen used to be a positive. And what happened is, when I checked my bank account Wednesday morning, someone had tried to steal $4,000 from me. We have very strong, compelling reasons to believe that this is the work of Stephen once again. And I will tell you why. And I specifically had my dreams tell me I need to talk about this. I have decided I will not remain silent in the face of ongoing criminality. I checked my bank account on Wednesday, and it was freakishly low. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I saw 7 different transactions that were all trying to post from what it said on the statement, I'll show it to you, was Internap Holding Atlanta, Georgia. Notice the spelling. Atlanta is spelled incorrectly as Atlanta. What the hell is Internap Holding? Well, obviously, a legitimate business would not misspell Atlanta. They would catch that and they would spell it properly. So if you want to look at this, I have a Chase bank account. This is what I saw. It freaked me out. It was horrific. They are stealing your money. They are stealing your donations, the love that you give me to try to keep this show on the air. The first one is 1207, 1,207.76, 1,205.32. Somebody tried to do this all in one day. Charge all this stuff to my account in one day. 1,046.03. And then we had 2 of them that are almost $200. 195.49, 193.67. Internap Holding. Who the hell is that? Then we had another one for 127.20. And then another pattern is the $9.60. $4,000 getting ready to drop out of my account. And I ask you this question, how would you feel if this happened to you? Well, I can tell you that it was horrific. And so I got on the phone. I called Chase Fraud Prevention right away. And I was on the phone with him for 45 minutes while I was building these slides, as I knew I was going to have to do the show on Saturday because I'm being attacked with wind. And now my bank account is being attacked. By the way, I never got the notification you're supposed to get. Oh, your credit card has been compromised. It's in database. There was no database. So I hardly ever use this card on anything. So how did anybody get my card number? It suggests, again, the DS, as an inside job, leaked it to the person they've probably been paying to come after me. And now that the U.S., as I was calling it last week, the Z funding, and the rest of it is aid, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now that's been cut off. Maybe he doesn't have the money that he used to have, so he got more desperate. That's one of the reasons why I think it's him, and there's other reasons as well. So again, how would you feel if you wake up one morning and you're missing $4,000 in your available balance, but it's all listed as pending? So I got on the phone. I was on the phone for 45 minutes. They tell me, no, we can only seize it from when the theft first started. And during the time I was on the phone, she went back and found that this has been happening about $1,300 a month, every month except for October, since August. So August, September, November, December, January, I was losing $1,300 a month, and I wasn't paying enough attention. I definitely will be now. I'm going to be watching my account probably every day, looking at the transactions, because what the whole game is, you got to catch this stuff. And that's the way it is with Stephen, too. You got to catch him. I've had to hire 8 people to stop him from doing this stuff. He is an expert hacker. And if you haven't already heard this, nobody's ever heard of anything like this before. He says that he's a critic. He says I'm a grifter, a con artist. How ironic that he's actually stealing your donation money. Part of why I think it's him is that he harassed and threatened the CEO of Svati Aerospace, Chris Beskar, left incriminating voicemails that we are keeping for our legal evidence on the exact same day that this $4,000 grift was attempted. So we do have his threatening voicemail. We're going to be using that in our lawsuit against him. He's scrambling to try to steal my money. We don't have any evidence he's been stealing money out of Stavati, but somehow he got my card, which I hardly ever use. And the last time that he called and threatened Chris was on a Friday. And so Friday morning, we got an email allegedly from India threatening us with bombs and explosives, saying we're going to die. He said, I want to kill David Wilcock. I want to blow him up. I forget exactly the wording, but it said, I want to kill David Wilcock. Allegedly from India, out of nowhere. We never heard of this guy before. And he's talking about Corey Good. I haven't done the show with Corey Good since 2018. Nobody talks about that anymore except for him. So on that morning of Friday, he says, I want to kill David Wilcock and Corey Good. And he's all pissed off at us. Wait a minute. The show's like 7 years old. Where have you been? Who is this guy? Is it really India? No, he's just pretending to be, because again, he's a hacker. So that's how it started. And then on Saturday, Stavati got an email claiming to be from Russia, saying that we were selling military procs to Ukraine, which we were not, and then saying that Russia was going to blow us up with explosives, the same threat as the day before from India, allegedly from India. Says he's going to blow us up with explosives unless we pay him in cryptocurrency. So he was actually trying to extort money on a Saturday. And so Friday, we have an explosive threat from India. Saturday, we have an explosive death threat from Russia, which supposedly from Russia. Again, these are supposedly. And he's saying, oh, well, you have to pay me money, so I'll give you the names of the people who are going to do this so that you can bring them justice. No, we're not going for that. In the middle of this 24-hour period between these two threats, Stephen called our CEO off of his own phone number. He disguised his name, but it was the same phone number. And again, threatened us. So now, here we go. We've got $4,000 being stolen out of my account by a hacker, somebody who hacked my credit card. And then Stephen calls Chris the same day and leaves threatening messages. So you see the formula. The death threat happened in the morning on Friday. He stalked him that same afternoon, and then he made the terror and extortion on Saturday. And again, he wanted to take money from us, which now makes me realize, oh, he's been doing this since August. He was already stealing money, and he wanted more. It's been going on since last August. I was getting hit, as I said, every month for about $1,300. I didn't catch it, but I always kept running out of money. And again, it's this clever thing where they experiment with $10, $200, $1,200 to see, will it get approved, will it go through? And then they keep doing it every month so that it looks like you are on some kind of a payment plan. So the bank didn't catch this, unfortunately, because again, it's below the level where it would really ping the ultimate fraud attacks. So again, there was 3 tranches above 1,000, around 200, and around 10, as I already showed you. So I was shocked when this happened. And in the bathtub, I said, who is doing this? And I just kept getting Stephen. So I never had any indication that my card was stolen or in a hacked database, which leads me to wonder, is somebody leaking these card numbers as an inside job? So part of why I'm telling you this is I'm warning all of the Patriot influencers out there. This is bare knuckle boxing, okay? There's no holds barred. So what I think is happening is that the DS is now leaking credit card numbers of influencers to their paid trolls. The paid trolls get to keep any money they steal. It's part of their salary. But they're getting this inside intel that they wouldn't otherwise have. Because again, I'm very careful. The only way you can prevent this, just like how we have a customer service team, and anytime that I make a X post, I have to let them know in advance that I'm doing it. We catch the stuff that he does within, seconds usually. But he works very hard. He creates 4 or 5 fake identities. He says that I'm a grifter and a con artist and a fraud and I'm a disgusting and vile human being. And I have to look at this stuff. I photograph it all for legal evidence. One of the problems we have is we just have so much incriminating evidence, but now we've got terrorism, death threats, extortion, and grand theft. So all Patriot influencers, if it's happening to me, my guess is it's happening to you. You need to begin checking your bank statement all the time. In fact, I'm probably going to have to hire someone as time goes on just to watch my account pretty much every day and look for anything suspicious. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing this myself pretty much almost every day now. I'm just going to have to check it fanatically because you can get the money back as long as you catch it within 30 days. So the way the negative works is it only can do this if you're not paying attention. Also, I want to make this very clear. Whoever is doing this, it might not be him, but I highly suspect it is. Anybody that tries to steal my money or make death threats or terrorism, we will aggressively prosecute you, we will sue you, and you will be in prison. Terrorism can go, for a very long term, in prison, 16 plus years. So obviously I've had to change all my credit cards. And then ironically, I had the new cards in the mail on Friday and I lost my mailbox key. That's the negative working. You get these negative readings. So what's another reason why I think that it's him and not somebody else? If it was a typical person stealing numbers from a database, they wouldn't actually watch this 5-hour show a week. But he knew that I had just taken out a business loan. Normal thief would not be watching the show. But yet, if somebody was watching the show, then they would know, okay, now I'm going to try to get $4,000 instead of $1,300. So I know I've been talking about this. What do you guys think? How did your bank let it happen? Says Jenny Jean Razzle. My bank calls me if more than $500 is spent, but I have a small town credit union.